Hey everyone, I made this video to help anyone out that is interested in doing the valve body upgrade for your 2020 to current L5P with the 10-speed transmission. Let me get into it. So I made this video because I hadn't had any issues with my valve body, but as you may know, there's a big recall on these. People are locking their transmissions up, so I'm installing the NextGen kit. And here is the video to kind of explain how I took apart the valve body. As you can see here, you got to start off by draining the transmission fluid. Everyone talked about how hard it is to get the fluid out without making a mess. So starting off, I obviously drained it, and I plan on using a jack to lower the pan down. Okay, as you can see here, I am draining the fluid. I believe the plug and all the bolts on the side of the pan are 10 millimeter, but do not quote me on that because I don't have the paperwork in front of me right now. But like I said before, this is for the 10L1000 transmission, and it is called a NextGen valve body upgrade kit. From what I've read, a lot of people have had good reviews on this. It adds smoother shifting. It's just an all-around the best option you can go as far as not having that stock valve body issue that a lot of people are getting. So as you can see here, I've gotten the pan off and lowered it on the jack. You're going to want to bring it ahead a little bit so you're not hitting that line, and just kind of keep lowering it until you have you're at a position to where you can kind of tilt it forward into your bucket or pan or whatever you're using. Okay, and as you can see here, I got it lowered down and kind of inched it forward a little bit. So now I just kind of let the gravity do its job and just kind of run off into that bucket. That should save you a lot of cleanup and everything, because I have read a lot of people having to clean up a lot of the transmission fluid because it gets kind of messy if they don't do it that way. But now you can see what you have to do is take two bolts off of the transmission filter to remove that. And there is your case harness that connects to your valve body harness that comes across, and it's held on by two little plastic snap rings, I believe they're called, and then your harness connector. So here are the two bolts I'm removing now, and I believe these are 10 millimeter. Like I said, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but I remember looking briefly at the socket, and it was, I believe, 10 millimeter. So those are those two snap rings. You have to pull them out of that black retainer, and you might have to give it a little bit of effort to pull them out, but they do snap off. And I just realized that this part of the video is reversed, but yeah, you do have to unclip the harness and then pull it out. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and remove those two little snap rings, but try not to break them. I thought they were going to break. You had to use a lot of effort to snap them out, but they do snap out. Okay, now you can remove the filter. You just kind of have to pull it forward and out. There is a little rubber sleeve that slides in. If you plan on reusing your filter or that sleeve, or if your new filter doesn't come with a sleeve, you can reuse it. But I bought a new filter and it came with that sleeve, so I just left the old one in there for now. But I would recommend putting a new one in if you can. So I sent my valve body off to a transmission shop. They charged me a couple of $100 to put the NextGen valve body kit in. I just didn't want to mess with it and take it apart any farther than what I already did. But if you look, there's 9 bolts to remove it from the transmission, and every bolt has an arrow like you see there. But you just want to make sure that you double check and make sure that there isn't one you missed. 3 of the bolts, I believe, are shorter than the rest, so you want to make sure that they are all laid out so you remember which one goes where. There's one of the valves that was replaced. You can see it's metal where the stock one is plastic. So just double check on your bolts and make sure you know where they came from. That way you're not going back and wondering which bolt goes where. Now, aside from doing the upgraded NextGen valve body kit, I did go ahead and replace the stock pan with a PPE Deep pan. Install went pretty well, no issues there. Aside from the new kit shifting smoother, I have noticed that the trans temps on the highway have gone from about 145 down to about 118 to 120. So that seems to be a plus as well. I will list in my description the sizes of the sockets I used, and also the pan itself has 16 bolts to remove that. I also added a couple of still pictures from the NextGen instruction sheet and a couple other pictures for reference. Thanks.